We're all gonna die, and it'll be because some algorithm decided we deserved another season of that show where sentient furniture solves crimes. Welcome back to my descent into digital madness, where today we dissect the slow, agonizing self-immolation of the House of Mouse. Yes, Disney, the company that once peddled wholesome fantasies, is now less magical kingdom and more festering digital swamp. And you know who to thank, don't you? Those glorious titans of streaming, primarily the Big Red N, and its legion of soulless content farms. Let's be clear, I'm not some boomer clutching my VHS copy of The Lion King, screaming at the clouds about the good old days. The good old days were a lie. Disney has always been a corporate behemoth, albeit one that occasionally stumbled into creating something genuinely good. But now it's like watching your childhood pet slowly succumb to a terminal illness, and the only cure the vet offers is more aggressively marketed merchandise. We're witnessing the once untouchable kingdom crumble under the weight of its own desperate attempts to compete in a streaming landscape it fundamentally doesn't understand. It's like watching a majestic oak tree try to fight off a swarm of digital locusts, feudal, pathetic, and frankly, kind of hilarious in a deeply unsettling way. The core issue, as I see it from my increasingly stained couch, is the sheer, unadulterated volume of garbage being pumped out. Netflix started it, this endless river of content designed to be passively consumed while your soul slowly detaches from your body. Look at that. It's the same beige, emotionless font on every single one. It's like they're actively trying to induce a coma. And Disney, bless their sugar mommy, thought the answer was to just do that, but with more pre-existing intellectual property. Remember when new Disney releases felt like events? Now it's like they're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, except the spaghetti is increasingly questionable in origin and covered in a suspicious digital sauce. We're drowning in Star Wars spin-offs no one asked for, Marvel series that feel like homework, and live-action remakes that actively drain the color from the original animated masterpieces. It's not enough to just have content, it needs to not actively insult our intelligence, which, admittedly, has been significantly eroded by years of internet exposure. And then there's the algorithm, that cold, uncaring god that dictates what we consume. Netflix mastered it, feeding us a personalized stream of mediocrity designed to keep us subscribed just long enough to forget why we signed up in the first place. See, we're in on the joke, but we're still trapped. Disney, in its infinite wisdom, tried to replicate this magic, but their algorithm seems to be run by a sentient Roomba that occasionally bumps into a pile of old VHS tapes. My Disney Plus recommendations are a terrifying mishmash of Bluey episodes, I Don't Have Kids, obscure 80s sitcoms, and that one documentary about competitive cheese rolling. It's less personalized experience and more digital dementia. Remember going to the cinema? The overpriced popcorn, the sticky floors, the collective gasp when something actually happened on screen? Netflix, and subsequently Disney Plus, offered an alternative. Watch from the comfort of your own home, pausing to check Twitter every 5 minutes. And while the convenience is undeniable, especially for someone like me whose social interactions peaked in 2012, it's also sad. The theatrical experience is slowly being eroded, replaced by the solitary glow of a screen in a darkened room, and Disney, with its endless, straight-to-streaming movies that feel like they were filmed in someone's aggressively beige basement, is actively contributing to this. Are we sacrificing a shared cultural experience for the sake of convenience? Probably. Do I have the energy to do anything about it? Absolutely not. Disney's current strategy seems to revolve entirely around mining its existing intellectual property until there's nothing left but dust and regret. Every beloved character, every iconic story is being dragged out of the vault, dusted off, and repurposed for yet another soulless cash grab. We've got prequels no one asked for, sequels that tarnish the originals, and reboots that fundamentally misunderstand what made the source material resonate in the first place. It's like watching someone exhume a beloved relative and then put them in a puppet show for our fleeting amusement. And Netflix is just as guilty, constantly reviving old franchises with diminishing returns, like a digital necromancer desperately trying to raise the dead for another quarterly earnings report. The magic is gone. It's been replaced by the cold, hard calculus of maximizing profit, and our nostalgia is just another resource to be exploited. Netflix, in its early days, championed original content, but as the streaming wars intensified, the focus shifted to quantity over quality, and now we have this bizarre creator economy where everyone and their dog is trying to become the next big thing, churning out endless streams of often derivative and frankly unsettling content. Disney is now trying to play this game too, diluting its brand with more and more content from, well, everyone. It's like opening the floodgates and hoping that something worthwhile washes in amidst the digital sewage. And while there are undoubtedly talented creators out there, the sheer volume of noise makes it impossible to discern anything of value. We're all just screaming into the void, hoping someone, anyone, will notice us before the algorithm decides we're irrelevant. And let's not forget the Disney fan bases. Oh boy. Once bastions of wholesome appreciation, many have devolved into toxic battlegrounds, fueled by hyper-partisan opinions on the latest Star Wars show or Marvel movie. It's like the magic that once united them has curdled into a bitter, resentful sludge. You've got the true fans gatekeeping, who is allowed to like what? The woke critics, dissecting every perceived social transgression, and the simply unhinged individuals who think Jar Jar Binks was secretly a Sith Lord. Okay, maybe that one has merit. The online discourse surrounding these franchises is now more entertaining, in a horrifying way, than the actual content being produced. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem of digital outrage, and Disney, in its desperation to appeal to everyone, seems to have inadvertently created a monster that feeds on its own creations. So where does this all lead? I predict a future where every single piece of intellectual property ever conceived will be endlessly remixed, rebooted, and reimagined until it becomes a meaningless slurry of digital noise. We'll have a gritty, realistic take on Snow White where the dwarves are meth addicts, a Star Wars series told entirely from the perspective of a sentient trash compactor, and a Marvel Cinematic Universe so bloated and convoluted that even the most dedicated fans will throw their hands up in despair. Disney and Netflix will continue to pump out content at an unsustainable rate, desperately vying for our attention in a world where attention spans are shorter than a goldfish's memory. Our brains will be so thoroughly saturated with digital detritus that we'll forget what it was like to experience genuine creativity or emotion. We'll become docile consumers, passively accepting whatever algorithmic slop is fed to us, our critical faculties eroded by years of endless scrolling and dopamine hits. The Earth's core will probably start sweating from the sheer volume of data being generated by all this garbage. In the end, the downfall of Disney isn't some tragic Shakespearean drama. It's a slow, pathetic slide into irrelevance, fueled by greed, a fundamental misunderstanding of the digital landscape, and a desperate need to keep up with the insatiable appetite of the algorithm. And honestly, maybe we deserve it. We're the ones who keep clicking, keep subscribing, keep feeding the beast. So go ahead, watch that 7th Star Wars spin-off, binge that show where teenagers solve mysteries with talking dogs. Just don't come crying to me when your brain turns into a soft, easily programmable mush. Because frankly, mine already has. Now, if you'll excuse me, my algorithm just recommended a documentary about the mating habits of garden slugs, and for some reason, I feel compelled to watch it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more descent into madness if I can still remember how to operate this camera, which, let's be honest, is increasingly unlikely.